If you're looking at my face, I'm giving you the same face that Jimmy has right now, you guys. This situation has gotten really, really, really bad really fast. And like I said in my previous video, I don't think at this point it's even about money. I think at this point it's about bruised male egos, it seems, because they are both very strong personalities, Jimmy Butler and Pat Riley. And I'm feeling like after that suspension, there was just no way to move forward, no matter how much money. Like Jimmy's like not interested. He's like, just get me out of here. And it's gotten even worse. It's absolutely crazy, you guys. It's so crazy.
Butler reiterated to team president Pat Riley in a face-to-face meeting last week that he wants to be traded. League sources telling ESPN Butler told Riley, that he will not sign a new deal in Miami and that he intends to use his $52 million player option for the 2025-2026 season in the offseason only as a trade maneuver. Stephen A., your thoughts on all that's going down in Miami?
I hate it. I really, really do. I hate it because I've known Jimmy Butler for years, and I wish him nothing but the best. He is frustrated. It didn't help that he didn't get a 2-year, $113 million extension, and Pat Riley questioned whether or not that was a viable investment, long-term, et cetera, et cetera. In the same breath, Pat Riley is the winner within. This man has won at every level, and he's forgotten more than most people know about the game of basketball, and he would know. Miami Heat are a first-class organization. They are a standard that a lot of people should aspire to emulate. I love Pat Riley. I've known him for years. I love a lot of people in that organization. I love Alonzo more than others. And so I look at it from the standpoint that you wish that things could end amicably. And unfortunately, when somebody walks into your office and tells you to your face that they want to get traded like Jimmy Butler did recently with Pat Riley, that's got to sting. But the only thing that I want to say this real quickly, Molly, is that the Miami Heat have to walk away with this. Pat Riley is class personified. He's a leader. He's a winner. But that doesn't mean that everything he does is on point. Unfortunately, we're dealing with a different generation of players. And Miami being the phenomenal city that it is, you have to know it's not a good look for LeBron James to leave, for Kevin Durant not to end up there, for y'all not to be able to pull off a deal to get Damian Lillard there when he wanted to get there. And now Jimmy Butler in this situation, It's not a...
That is it right there, you guys. I was going to say that because I know that there's been a lot that has been said about Jimmy Butler, about how, he does this in every organization. It's him, he's trouble, he's difficult, and things of that nature. I could see that he could be a little bit difficult. He does come across that way, that he can be if, he doesn't get what he may want to a certain extent. But I feel like there are more similarities between him and Pat Riley than differences. And I feel like the biggest thing is that they both are very strong, very stubborn, it seems to be, and they believe what they believe, So I feel like you have, these two dominant personalities. You're just like trying to prove more so who has the upper hand, who has the leverage, and so on and so forth. I will say that I know that Pat Riley has a winning organization, right? They won rings, they had, LeBron there, like Stephen just mentioned, and so on and so forth, right? Like Stephen said, he's won at every level, right? I get that. But it is a very different generation of players, the generation is just different, like the ones in the 30s are different, the ones in their 20s are different, the ones coming to the league are different. The way athletes are drafted now, the money that they can make in high school, the money they get offered in college to go to these schools and coming into the league, like they're coming in now making millions, having made millions, having endorsements. We're not even talking about players coming in anymore who are just trying to do the best they can to buy them out of the house. You know what I mean? So to speak, like it's long past that now. So they're coming into it, with egos, feeling like they're the man, so to speak. I'm not saying that about Jimmy, but I'm saying that to use it as an example to say that times are different. And I feel like Jerry Jones, you know what I mean? Pat Riley, like they're stuck in their ways, you know what I mean? And I feel like sometimes when you're older, old folks can be stubborn, you know what I mean? And that's when you have I guess a proven track record of success, you're like, I know what works. I've done it before. I've had rings and so on and so forth. So I'm going to stand as a standard. That's it. You have to ask yourself. I said this before. At a certain point, it did not. It was no longer about money. At this point, for him to go into his office and say, "I'm not signing here at all." Period. It doesn't matter anymore if you offer me this. Like at this point, I said a while ago, like even before the suspension, to me it was not about money anymore. When he sat there in that press conference talking about his lack of joy and how he couldn't get it back there, I said, okay, something really happened that we're unaware of. Now, I do feel like everything started in the off not off season, but last season when Jimmy was trolling, in the playoffs, and Pat was like, if you're not playing, keep your mouth shut, so on and so forth. I was like, wow, that's pretty harsh. Doesn't need to be said. He didn't want to offer Jimmy an extension because he was missing games, but he did have legitimate reason for missing games. He was hurt. His dad was sick. His dad died. Any job when you have a parent, a loved one, a parent, a spouse, a child who's sick, and dying, you can't deny that. So I feel like to hold that against him, for me, was a little bit harsh. And if I'm just an owner, I would not have said what I said publicly. I would have talked to him about that maybe behind closed doors, because at the end of the day, you haven't really had much success in Miami since LeBron, D Wade in them days. That was a while ago, respectfully. Jimmy Butler, when he came to the organization, took them to the NBA Finals. You know what I mean? So I don't think at this point what they have on their roster is going to get them to the finals without Jimmy Butler or someone or some more people that are just as strong, talented, that are going to buy into this culture. And when I say buy into the culture, I mean having to have a certain amount of body fat, the way they do their practices. A lot of players say that they cannot work, they couldn't play in Miami because of Pat Riley's rules and the way he runs that organization. And I guess it speaks to why a lot of players have not gone there. You know what I mean? So I think at this point, maybe someone needs to talk to Pat and say, hey, look, you know what I mean? Jimmy doesn't want to be here anymore. Okay, great. Let's get him out of here, because you don't want to have someone there who doesn't want to be there, right? Because how are you going to win like that? If everybody there is already Bam, Tyler, Jaime, Coach Spo, if they're really there trying to focus on winning, this whole situation has become a complete distraction from the goal of winning. You know what I mean? Even Coach Spo now is not even answering any more Jimmy Butler questions. It's like, I'm not answering that question anymore. We're focused on the season and winning games. This is what we're here to do. That's what it is. This whole thing has become so much of a spectacle, and so much of the focus has been completely of everything that's going off of the court, as opposed to the focus being on the court and basketball games, right? Winning basketball games. Nevertheless, you guys, I do feel like at this point, just let Jimmy go. You know what I mean? Let him go. And if you're going to keep suspending him, right? Because they couldn't find anybody to take him the past, couple of 7 games he's been suspended. So he should be getting ready to come back by all accounts, because you still got to pay him. If you're not going to play him, you're not going to trade him, then you got to pay him. You can't just not pay him at all if he's healthy and able to play. You can't do that. So I did hear, I'm not sure how true this is, that they were going to suspend him again after this suspension because he supposedly refuses to play. I don't think Jimmy's dumb enough to ruin his brand like that. Because what team is going to want you if you are healthy enough to play and you're refusing to play? You know what I mean? At the same time, if I'm another player and I see how they're doing Jimmy Butler, do I want to come there and play for Pat Riley? Because number one, they don't really have a whole lot of stars in that roster. You know what I mean? That pull you and say, hey, I want to play Miami, aside from the weather and the beautiful city and so on and so forth. But do I want to come someplace where I see how they run things, how hard they are, how, stubborn, Pat Riley can be? Probably not. I might want to go someplace else where I have a better chance of winning. That's number one. And number two, I don't have to deal with this kind of hand, this firm hand down. This is the way, this is the only way, this is how we do things, do it or don't do it, buy in or don't. I don't know if that kind of message is as appealing to this new generation of players as it may have been the older ones. But this situation is going to continue to go and to grow, it seems. So we'll have to see how it goes. But what do you guys think? I'm curious. Let me know in the comments, and I will see you, of course, in the next video.